divorced, and after the passing, untimely passing of my father. So that's how I became a writer. And here I am.
From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another podcast with Conversation with Trent and Shann. Shann's actually mobile tonight. She's mobile tonight and actually she'll be here in a second. She's showing dedication. It's truly appreciated. She's mobile from the car. Or like Mark would say, like Slash would say, she's mobile from the Bentley. Let's bring Shannon in.
Hey.
What's going on? What's going on?
I wish I was mobile from the but yes, I am mobile. What's going on? Happy hump day.
Can't call him I spoil it. Can't call him I spoil it. Mommy duties, huh?
Yes, mommy duties. I know. Yeah.
So we're talking about, are you mentally fit for that relationship tonight?
No.
Let's start off by Market Slash is saying, Grand Rising, melanated people. Greetings, Miss Charlie Angel and Mr. Epic. Rest in peace, Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Oh, your hero. So sorry.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So
What's up,
and
Wendy?
yes, you will have to do the. You'll have to go through the comments because on my mobile I can't really go back and forth between the active screen and the comments.
Gotcha.
So keep doing that. Hey, Wendy, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Good stuff, man.
So Mark, are you okay? Wait, hold on. But I just want to make Mark, are you okay? With everything that's happened to Kevin Samuels, I just want to make sure you're good. I know that's probably was very traumatic for you.
Just
want to make sure you're okay.
Come on.
There's probably a support group somewhere, not here, but there's probably a support group for you somewhere.
Come on, stop picking, stop being petty. Come on now.
Anyway, yeah. So yes, continue. I know I'm going to hear something back, and let us know if you're single tonight.
Exactly. There you go. But he's coming back real quick. Shannon's normally doing these duties, folks. So, we'll try and get in there. Oh, Tammy Gillis is in it. Good afternoon. Good evening, Tammy. Really appreciate you.
Hey, Tammy, welcome back. Yes, our esteemed guest from the other week.
Absolutely.
Yes, we've loved. You know what? I would love to have both you and your hubby on the show. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great to hear both points of view, or well, not points of view, but both perspectives and experiences. Being that you guys are kind of like the unicorn of success stories.
Yeah, actually,
that's what you went through in your relationship.
Good stuff, there, man. Good stuff. Yeah. Welcome to come back on, Tammy. You guys, welcome to come back. Good stuff. So yeah, with this topic tonight, man, are you mentally fit for that relationship? I got a call from a very, very, very.
Oh God! It all starts with a call.
I got a call from a friend. I've known this girl since I was 7 years old.
How did we know it was a female?
I mean, hey, hold on. Give me 1 second, folks.
So we are live.
I know. I'm so sorry.
We are live.
We're definitely live, so I can't get that call. But I got a call from a close friend of mine, and let's just say, I hadn't spoken to her in years, and she called with an apology, right? Give me 1 quick second. We're gonna take a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
My God, are we really doing this?
This is crazy. Right. We'll be right back, folks.
said, I can't hear you.
Actually, that was my niece popping by. I haven't seen this girl. I haven't seen my niece in a couple of years. She popped up. But good stuff. Good stuff. But anyway, so back to the topic here. So I got a call from a friend of mine, right? I hadn't spoken to her in years. And she called with an apology. And I'm like, I kind of forgot even what happened, like whatever happened. Because she and I have been real friends for a very long time, like 7 or 8. So she explained to me why she disappeared and all this stuff. And it happened to be because of an ex of mine. Somebody was in my life. So fast forward, her friend became great friends with my ex. And her friend was actually trying to get with me. But I kind of, denied her access to me. Wasn't interested. Yeah. But anyway, she was in this girl wedding and everything, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. I said nothing to apologize for. And after, we talked at length. And I'm like, were you mentally fit to be in a friendship at that point? If somebody could actually jog you and go the other way? Were you mentally fit?
I don't think that I think you confused people on what what you're talking about, because I know the situation and I'm confused on what you're saying.
But,
so there's a friend that, when you say people jog you, hold on, let me give a little backstory. I'm not giving no specifics, but I don't think I think they'd be lost when you're talking about go the other way. So you had a friend that you grew up with or you've known since you were 7 or 8. Whatever happened, they were in a bisexual relationship or a lesbian relationship.
No.
This isn't that friend? Oh, no. Sorry, I digress, people, because I'm confused.
No.
So I need you to go back and start this story over, because I'm confused. I don't even know what you're talking about.
The situation, that's funny as hell. But anyway.
Right. I'm just saying, I'm here for everybody's amusement. That's all.
Exactly.
But I need backstory, because I'm lost.
So, the girl that I was actually dating,
oh God,
befriend my friend, my very close friend. So we used to go to dinners and all this other stuff, and the ex-girlfriend befriend her friend, and they became real good friends. The girl was even
befriended her friend. Is her friend a male or a female?
Female, all of them females.
Oh God, Jesus, I'm lost in this.
So anyway,
estrogen pool.
So what happened when the girl had a bitter taste in her mouth? Right?
About what? What girl?
My ex. She had a bitter taste in her mouth with me.
Okay.
Of course. And my friend of over 45 years kind of sided with her. I'm like, how you do that? Why you do that? I never even gave it any thought. I just left it alone or whatever. So she called me years later and apologized. And I'm like, hey, man, there's nothing to apologize for. The water under the bridge. That was a temporary relationship. You and I have a lifetime of friendship. So I got to questioning. I'm like, we talked at length. And I said, let me ask you a question. I said, were you mentally fit to be in a friendship at that point in time in your life? Because she's in a totally different realm at this point, at this stage. And she was like, wow, that's a great question. So that i.e. the question of, are you mentally fit to be in that relationship? Not just with a romantic relationship. I'm talking about friendships. Because I know several times along my path, I've been in relationships and friendships that I had no business being in because I was unemotionally available. I was not available at all.
We both froze. You know what?
I said in my past, I had no business being in several relationships and friendships for that matter, because I was always unavailable emotionally.
Gotcha.
So I had no business being in those friendships or relationships. So it was a valid question to her, and it wasn't a jab at her. I'm always looking for the teachable moment. I'm like, were you really mentally fit at that moment? Whatever you're going through with your life, that you allow someone to sway your thoughts on your friend of 45 years?
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? So I got to thinking about that. I was like, wow, how many times, and especially in this time, in this desolate time, how many times you see people, how many people you see in these relationships and friendships who have no business being in friendships because they have no idea how to be a friend.
Ooh.
They have no idea how to be a friend. They're not mentally stable to be a friend at the moment. Not saying that they can't become a friend down the road, but they don't have the mental capacity to be a friend. You understand what I'm saying? Makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, see, Tammy said, I'm a little confused too. I knew it. I knew I wasn't the only one that was confused with this. So this is definitely not the lesbian thing. Okay. Oh, look. Oh, Mark said Charlie Angel just pulled somebody out the closet that wasn't ready to leave yet. Hashtag trapped in the closet.
Exactly.
That's a good one, Mike. I was about to say, what? How? I sure was putting them on putting somebody. I didn't say no names though. I pulled them out the closet. You gotta stop, because all your stories start with a friend, and then it's always a female friend, and then it's usually always somebody you dealt with like that.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Like that.
I have more. Actually, I was speaking with Tammy today, and I was telling her, she was like, what y'all talking about tonight? So I told her, I said, you know what, Tammy? I have more female friends than I have male friends. Mm. I get along better with females. I'm talking about totally platonic. I get along better with females than I do.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Growing up, I always had more male friends than platonic male friends than
exactly.
girlfriend. What the heck, sir? We are live.
Exactly. Hey, Drew, stop calling me, man.
Who?
That's Drew.
Drew, get on the podcast and stop calling. You know we go live at 8:00 Wednesdays and 8:00 Sundays Eastern Standard Time. Stop interrupting the show. Thank you. That's our PSA.
Good stuff. So what were you saying?
Anyway, yes, he's the one that called you tranny. I think was he the one calling you?
No, that Rich out of the
see the few male friends the few male friends that you do have, huh?
Yeah, I only have a handful of male friends, but think about it though, man. When you talk about mentally fit to be in a friendship, whether it be romantic or just a regular friendship, platonic friendship, I've had several of them. I had no business being in those friendships because I was emotionally unavailable.
Right. Okay.
I was a great disservice to them and that friendship at that time.
Give me 20 seconds. Keep going. I'm listening.
Go ahead. So, folks, the question is, let's get to these comments. Have you guys actually, and will you be honest about it, been in a situation where you knew you had no business being in that friendship? You wasn't mentally fit for that friendship. I'd love to hear from you guys. We'll wait on Shannon to come back and finish taking care of her mommy duties here. But we'll take a real quick break and we'll be right back.
Take a mommy break. All right. Where's Lydia? I want to see her.
Oh my God, there she go. We'll take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning into Conversations with Trent. We will be right back with more conversation after these commercial breaks. Welcome back to Conversations with Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're online and want to be a part of tonight's topic, you can do that by dialing 347-324-5327. Press the number 1 to get into the queue so that your voice can be added to tonight's conversation. Now, let's get back to the show.
Got that out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, just bear with us because this is live. This is a live feed. So it is what it is. It's straight talk, no chase, and this is what you're getting tonight. So good stuff there. Good stuff. But let's get down to it. You good?
Mm-hmm. What's the question?
Cool. Let's get down to it. Let's talk about the 5 things mentally strong people don't do in relationships. The 5 things mentally strong people don't do in relationships. We'll start off with number 1. They don't analyze everything. Mentally strong people don't analyze the meaning behind everything someone else does. As an introvert, I pride myself on my ability to find the deeper meaning in life. But I caution you not to get caught up in analyzing everything. That was me.
Okay. I think, can we go back 1 second to this whole thing with the friend? What was her reasoning for believing something?
I have no idea. I didn't give it my energy. I'm in a space where I don't allow my past to interrupt my future. So I got off the hook, man. I was like, yo, don't worry about it. And we talked for 3 hours after that.
I guess I would have been interested to know, especially since you built a show around it, is exactly what was it that you didn't feel secure, or is it that you didn't feel secure enough in our friendship?
I didn't give it that much thought.
You didn't ask. That's just like a man. You don't ask the right questions.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't give it that much thought. I was just happy that my friend gave me a call and we talked for 3 hours, and she was happy to report that she was in a different realm in life, and I was glad to hear that, and I was very supportive on that and what have you. But honestly, the person that we spoke about briefly, I didn't want none of that energy on to me because that person was extremely toxic.
This was the person that you had. This was the person that you had dated.
Exactly. So I kind of blew it over. I was like, "Yo, don't worry about it. We good."
How long ago did you date this person?
Oh man, it's been about 7 years.
Oh, okay.
7 years.
All right, carry on.
Yeah. So I didn't. I tend not to give things my energy, man. If it's negative, I'll step away from it. I'm gonna
let you have that one for right now while we on this podcast. But okay.
Whatever.
I'm gonna let you have that one for this one. So what are these points you're going over? Because the feed was getting interrupted a little bit.
So this is my points. 5 things mentally strong people don't do in relationships. Number 1.
So they don't overanalyze. They don't try to overanalyze or analyze everything everybody else does. What's the second one?
Number 2 would be they don't believe the other person will complete them.
True. Next.
Mentally strong people complete themselves before they look for someone else to enhance their lives.
Right. I think that's the key. I think too many times, and you hear it all the time, but you hear it more so in romantic relationships versus platonic or non-romantic relationships, right? Where, I found my soulmate, or I found my this or my that. They just complete me. You have, to me, in my opinion, that other person shouldn't be completing you. They should be enhancing who you already are.
Yeah, exactly. The only way a person can complete me is we're gonna share some of this oxygen.
Right. Exactly.
Give me some of that oxygen when I'm dying, and if I survive off of it, you complete me.
Yeah. Period. Exactly. Hey, Gentle Giant, welcome to the show.
What up, pal? What up, pal?
Number 3.
Number 3. They don't bring up the past to justify the present. They do not bring up the past to justify the present. Now, all these talking points are from me. They don't bring up the past to justify the present.
Right.
Mentally strong people don't bring up the past to win an argument or use it as a relationship collateral. Don't do it at
So
all.
I would equate that. And that's part of when you say that, I think about when Tammy was on the show and she and her now husband were reconnecting with each other, and they were going through the process of getting professional help, with
Right.
therapy and all of that, and doing the work. And part of that, which makes sense, is you have to at some point forgive and let go of the past. You can't just
Absolutely.
every time a trigger comes up use that, or you can't use that every time to justify why you're feeling a certain way or why you're acting or behaving a certain way. Or let's even go so far as to say, because I've been in this position where I was cheated on and I'm trying to let things go, but I'm still going to look through your phone. I'm still, just those little things. If
Exactly.
you've got to let all that go.
It's like I
um
stated
so
on the previous podcast. It's like when you decide to go back, even after a cheat, you got to let
mhm.
all that bullshit go.
Yes.
Period.
And that's the hard part. That's the hard part, because that in itself, forget you even just trying to work on the rebuilding the relationship with the other person. You have got to do work within your own self, with yourself, to get past all that other stuff that comes up, all those other things that trigger you, and not act on those triggers. It's hard. You know what? That's a show. You really learn with yourself and grow through not even acting on those triggers. Acknowledge them because they're going to come, but you have to choose to
Exactly.
do something, or do something different, or behave differently. Oh yes, I should have been a life coach. Number 4.
Number 4, they don't look outside the relationship to improve the relationship.
Okay.
Let
Number
me
5.
explain. Mentally
Oh,
strong
I'm sorry.
people, mentally strong people devote their full attention to themselves on their partner when it comes to fixing problems in the relationship. They don't seek another person to fulfill their needs at all. At all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At all.
I can't say I finitely agree with that. I'm not trying to justify going out and cheating with somebody. I've got some I've got some other type of situations that, and where, never mind. But I agree. I'm thinking it through. Number 5.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first that Shannon is actually agreeing with me on certain things. Number
I
5,
don't do that.
they don't put other. Hold on a second. They don't put the other person down to feel better about themselves. They don't.
Oh, I mean, you shouldn't do that. Period. That's anybody.
Exactly.
Anybody.
But 9 times out of 10, if a supposedly mentally strong person is doing that, they're really not strong. Because
Hmm.
doing something like that, putting another person down, that's magnifying your insecurities. Your insecurities in some place, one place or the other. So that only magnifies it.
Mm. So Tammy said your entire mentality changes. What worked then, I guess, which meaning previously, doesn't work in the new relationship. Yeah, that is very true.
Absolutely.
It's Tammy. Are you actually kind of referring to that when it kind of like when you actually, let's say, go back to the person that may have hurt you or betrayed you, meaning not bringing all of that old into the new? And
That's
then
it.
Mark said, friends that take sides, are they really friends? For a reason or a season. They come in for a reason or a season, they come into your lives to add, multiply, subtract, or divide. Mental health is
Absolutely.
sometimes hereditary. And Mark,
Well,
we're missing
honestly,
the rest of your comment there.
right. Honestly, in her defense, in my friend's defense, after
Uh-huh.
speaking with her, she's on her own personal journey at this point,
Okay.
and she needed to be just like she said. She said, "You kept coming to mind. You kept coming to mind." And
Yes.
a mutual friend of ours told her like 2 years ago that I wasn't well, but she never reached out. But I was constantly on her mind, and she finally gave into the thought and said, "Let me call him." And I guess
Mm.
it was weighing on her heart. She's still a great friend. I'm talking about a phenomenal friend. She's a phenomenal friend. People do make mistakes and bad judgment calls at some point. I've done them.
Yes. Hang on to that. Hang on to that thought. I want to finish Mark's comment. He said mental health is sometimes hereditary. Some refuse to take or can't afford their meds. Some have been raised or gone through trauma. Some are just thrown off a touch, and others are playing crazy to get along or over. That is very true. And Tammy, thank you for responding. So Tammy was saying yes, clarifying that, when you make the decision to rekindle a relationship where there's been betrayal, that absolutely you cannot take that old mentality or way of thinking into the new relationship, meaning, or even just take the old into the new. I definitely agree with I agree. Now this is going to be a first, because I do agree with Mark's last statement. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I mean, it's one of the things that I love now is that and this is as it pertains to mental health, is that it's more on the forefront now, meaning it's not taboo. There's not a stigmatism attached to it anymore. It can affect any and everybody, and you never know. And all of these things and all of these behaviors that people have had within their lives or whatnot, you never realize or know. They just never understood that there could be some mental health issues behind that. And I think we need to start making it okay for people to say, it's okay that I have this condition.
Okay. It's okay that you're not okay.
And learn, and learn how to manage it. And I think a lot of times I look back and I wonder how many people, even in my family, had legitimate mental health issues.
Right.
But because of the way we look at it as a Black community, like, that's not us, we not crazy, all that, we didn't want to seek treatment for it, or we could seek treatment for it, right? It wasn't something we did. And so, that's my kind of PSA for the Mental Health Awareness Month. So, you just never know. But as far as, what was that last thing you said about being a friend, being in a better space? So, it's so funny that this comes up tonight. I'm sorry for taking so much time to get this point across, but I reconnected with a friend of mine today that I had kind of like a late lunch with.
Okay.
And we were really good friends for a long time. And there were just life things that happened that just kind of separated us. And today, now that I'm in a different place, there's a level of transparency that I'm willing to have now.
Exactly.
Right? And be honest about stuff, and be honest enough, to say, you know what, it wasn't you, it was me dealing with my own shit.
It takes, and I'm glad you brought it up.
And wanting to really, and knowing that the friendship meant enough to me, or was valuable enough to me, that I'm willing to now go ahead and lay that out there and admit that, where, admit my own faults, admit where I screwed up, and say I'm in a different space now.
It's called growth. Better. Exactly. That's called growth. And I have to say, for my friend, right, I could literally hear the weight off of her chest as I said, hey, man, it's all good. It's still Trinity. And when I said that, it was a relief, and she relaxed and she calmed down, and she was good. Then once she found out, she didn't even know my mother was gone. She didn't, and she was very close to my mother since she was 7, 8 years old. So she was, I had to actually console her talking about it. She didn't know Greg was gone. That's how much time was lapsed between that situation. And like, I had to calm her down. I say, hey, man, it's all good. This is Trent. It's still Trinity. We good. And I left it at that. But I'm very proud of her that she was able to address her emotion and address the feeling that she was dealing with. She told me she had been dealing with this from our mutual friend telling her I wasn't well. And she failed to call and reach out. And I told her I was very proud of her, that she's on a different journey. And she's moving around now. It's good. I'm very proud of her. But it takes a person of growth to admit that they were wrong and to apologize in a manner that you apologize. It takes a serious person of growth.
So
Go ahead.
Mark made a statement. He said some of y'all are out here like Cousin Pete, just out and about, tired of being cooped up in their room. Mark, I don't know if that was nice or not, but okay. Thank you for the laugh. Now, so besides friendships, so I get that it does occur in friendships. I've experienced myself, but I think it's just as important to recognize whether or not you're mentally ready when it comes to to be in romantic relationships.
Exactly. Because if you think
And
about it, you could truly be doing that person and the possible friendship a great disservice if you're not mentally ready
absolutely.
for it. I've done it a ton of times. I've done it. I've lost a ton of great people because I wasn't emotionally available for any of that stuff. I can honestly say I was not available emotionally or
Mm.
mentally for none of that. So I've lost a ton of people that way.
So how did you realize that you weren't that like how, what was it that what behaviors or what were you going through that you realized that you were not mentally in a place to be in a relationship with someone else?
I found all this out once I was able to acquire the tools to go within, to deal with myself. And once I became a coach, this is years ago. And even when I became the coach, I was still having toxic behaviors. You see what I'm saying? But once I acquired the tool to go within myself and deal with myself, I knew that I gave that person a very good disservice.
So did you know before you went on that journey of going within yourself, did you know that those behaviors were toxic?
No,
So you didn't recognize that they were toxic till after you actually
I didn't.
started doing some self-evaluation and self-work. Okay.
Exactly. I had to self-evaluate to actually realize that that was some toxic stuff. That was some toxic stuff. So, and I honestly, that's how the whole conversation came about. That was my apology to all these people that I scarred, all these women I scarred. That was pretty
Hmm.
much my apology. I
So you
started
had an
writing this.
apology tour?
I had to be honest with you,
No, I'm not, I mean, I'm not, it's not to be, I'm just asking, you kind of had an apology tour.
pretty much, because I financed it. All these different these spots. I did all that myself. I didn't get any
Hmm.
help with that. That's something I needed to do.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's something I needed to do. So, I mean, you know, I couldn't go back and apologize to every single female that I
Oh
scarred.
yeah, how it's a bad average of 600. Good Lord, how long would
Knock it
that be?
off.
Probably still be apologizing.
Stay on topic, please, driving Miss Daisy.
I am. Ain't nothing about driving this daisy here. It's so funny. Sidebar, it's like dudes will try to holler. I'm like, dude, really? You see me drive? I'm not rolling my window down. Like,
Take me on
no.
a conversation with Trent. Knock it off.
I'm just saying. It's just like it's just the thing. What go the experience in the A. I'll be like, Lord, this dating pool got PP and feces in it. I'm just
Yeah,
telling y'all.
you sure that's a dude or half a dude, half a woman? I'm just
No, it
saying.
was a dude. It was a dude.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
but good
all.
stuff. So, yeah, so it took me a while, man, and that's how the conversation got started. That's how the whole brand got started by I went within and dealt with myself.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
that's the only way you can get past that. That's the only way you can acknowledge that you're not mentally fit for something. So at this point,
Very true.
at this stage of my life, I am the protector and the gatekeeper of my peacefulness.
Yeah, I get it. You have to be.
You have
You
to be
have
these days and times, man. You have to be, and if it disrupts my peacefulness, I'm out.
So, was there, and maybe some of our viewers can attest to this and let us know, or if there have been times that you can recall where you had to just decline being in a relationship with someone that, may have been actively for you, you were trying to actively have a relationship, but you knew that you just weren't in that space to where it could have been successful, or you could have been of, been of any real value to that other person in a relationship.
That's a great
You know.
question. That's a great
So I
question.
will say yes, I have recognized that within myself that like no, I'm not. This is not the Shannon you want to deal with right now.
Right. That's
This is
growth,
not the
man.
version of Shannon you want to deal with.
But
No.
that's growth. We have to be willing to acknowledge that when we're in that storm, we have to acknowledge that we're in the storm. And the storm is not to invite people in.
Right.
The storm is not for everybody. It's not like I couldn't invite no one into this storm that I'm coming out of. I'm still in it, but I couldn't invite anyone into that. I.e., that's why I actually left my last relationship. I couldn't stay in that because it was something that it's only something that I was able to get myself out of. I'm talking about the entire process. This whole recovery is an entire process.
Okay.
That's something I had to walk alone. I had to do that alone.
So Mark said, emotionally unavailable. Many relationships and partners are just seeking relations. Experiencing that, I graduated from the University of Peebo Bryson with a degree in we don't have to talk about love. I think, yeah, very funny, Mark, very funny. I don't know that's necessarily all about relations. Maybe that's from the male perspective, because I think a lot of times some men tend to focus more on or able to go into the physical or the relations part. Where there have been times before I would recognize that I'm not in a good space to be in a relationship where I actually what did get into relationships or situationships, whatever you want to call them, knowing that I wasn't in a great space, that I wasn't going to do the relationship any justice. It had nothing to do with satisfying any
Well,
relations.
I tell you this though, with Mark bringing that up, that was one situation in particular that came to mind when I read that. I told this woman that I was unavailable emotionally, mentally, and everything. Oh no, I can handle the friendship. After a while, I obliged her. She turned into a whole stalker.
Wait a minute. The friendship meaning friends with benefit ship?
Pretty much. And I told her from the onset, I said, hey, listen, I'm not even available for any of that type stuff. I'm not available for it. Emotionally, none of that. So after a while, I mean, we stayed in contact, and
you was available to be Pokemon. What? See, y'all get on my nerves. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I obliged her, but turned out that I was right about it. I was like, yo, she said she can handle it. She can handle it, and she couldn't handle it. In the end,
you got what you deserved. I hate to say, because you knew.
Pretty much, I knew she was crazy.
And yeah. So you got it.
That's good stuff. Let's see these comments where they at. It's Tammy. Tammy says that yes, I
those
have
rebound relationships. Yes, you already know it's the rebound
what a way to be
relationships.
transparent, Tammy. Good stuff, man. Thank you.
But I mean, it really is, because what was the old adage? Men do it just like, the best way to get over old P or old D is to get on some new one, right? That's
wait a minute. Did you just hold on a second? Did you just call me Pokemon?
Yes, I did. But Tammy was laughing. I thought that was good. I thought that was good too, Tammy. I like that too.
That's funny.
I'm here for your entertainment all for the next 19 minutes.
Yeah.
But it does manifest itself in those rebound relationships. And if I'm being completely transparent, my getting married was a rebound relationship for me, and I knew it. And I told y'all I knew I wasn't supposed to get married.
Say it ain't so.
I told y'all I've got the most 3 beautiful young women as a result of that, of that union. But I knew, I knew. And I still went ahead and did it anyway.
You just indulged in all that toxic, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I even knew, because I mean, honestly, my ex-husband and I were really good friends. We had a really good friendship. And I don't know why guys like to do this with me. Like, we'll be friends, and then all of a sudden, I like you. No, you don't. And I told him that when he told me. I said, no, you don't. And I knew this. The first thing that came to my mind, you're going to mess up the relationship that we have by wanting to date me. And sure enough, it took 15 years, but it happened.
We're all adults here tonight. Sometimes, not to be honest with you, because I was in the middle of that sometimes as well. Sometimes when it's toxic, that nut feels a little better.
A what? A nut? I mean, yeah, we all adults, yes. Yeah.
We're all
Sometimes it
adults
does.
here.
Sometimes it
That
does.
feel a little better when it's toxic.
Yeah. What do y'all say? Them crazy women be having the best sex or whatever. I don't know. That's what men say. Some men
That's
say.
that is the truth.
Are you
All that with that.
serious?
Crazy.
But boy, she got that good, huh?
Yeah, that good, but she crazy as hell.
Dang. So y'all will deal with that to bust a nut. Okay. All right. So Mark said,
Used to.
hold up. Mark said human interaction is a must. Plus the coach said we should be touched 32 times a day, even if we have to touch ourselves, just not 30 times. If y'all fall off the horse, got to get up on it like Keith Sweat. Mark, you kind of funny tonight. You kind of making sense to me tonight. Okay. See, this is a first for everything tonight.
Just, I guess that's your ethnic braids going on right there.
I know, right? Actually, they're locks. Like they heavy. Like who doesn't tell you these things be heavy? Like my neck is getting a workout.
And that's
Like yes, but yeah, it's cute. Yep, it's cute though.
good stuff
But
though,
yeah,
man. Good stuff.
yeah, it's
Good
it's
stuff.
just fun. Like that is a whole. That is a whole situation though. I mean, just that one little sentence that comment that Tammy made about rebound relationships.
Absolutely,
And I
absolutely.
just and I stayed in it for a very long time, and I don't want to take, and that's why I will never take anything away from my ex-husband. He's he's a great man, great guy. I knew better, and I chose not to act on it. I chose a
So
different
so you so
path.
you taking so you taking that shared responsibility and
I
everything
do.
that
I mean,
went
I do because I knew, and honestly, people around me knew. People around me that knew me. It's kind of like when they tell you, for me, like my daughter has a boyfriend now, right? So it's like, even if
right.
I don't like him, I'm not going to sit up there and keep vocalizing to try to keep them apart because what's that going to do? Push her more right on
Which,
into him. What did it do when my
exactly.
parents told me not about who they didn't like when I was dating? It's like, push me right back into, oh no, I'm going to prove you wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. All of that.
And that's something. That's something. But
So
I thought
yeah,
that
and so
back to the topic, I thought that was very big of my friend to reach out and to cleanse herself. It's nothing like a good personal cleansing once you
yeah,
let go and release things that truly didn't belong to her.
yeah.
That wasn't her burden to carry because all she was going off of what the bitter person was dealing with at that time.
Well, it
So
never helps to befriend somebody. And I'm not trying to throw shade because it's specifically your ex, but I mean the relationship ended for a reason. So
exactly,
there's kind of like a light, like you've got to take whatever that person says with a grain of salt.
exactly.
You know.
So my thing is, I'm like, once I was, she refreshed my memory on what happened with that situation. I was like, this
Hmm.
girl was a straight up taker, and you should have knew that.
Wow.
You
Okay.
should have knew it. But we all bump our heads at some point on this road called life. And
True.
I'm glad that she rectified that for herself because I didn't move past that years ago.
Wow.
Years ago. So yeah, it's good stuff too. Good stuff, man. But mental health is real, man. It's super real. And in order for you to address mental health, you have to go to the next realm to actually address it. You can't address that at living in a superficial world, having superficial surroundings. You can't address that.
Hmm.
You got to be honest within yourself to address that, to
Yep.
get better. So I
That's
had no
very
idea
true.
that it was Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah. May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
I had no idea.
Absolutely.
But the first step to addressing that is actually addressing your mirror. And I say this all the time. I needed that stand-up mirror. I could not address myself with a hand mirror. I
Mm.
needed to see the full body of work because I was a hot ass mess.
And it takes a lot to recognize and well, not just recognize, but admit. Like we can know certain things about ourselves, but not
But
want to
admitting
admit it
it.
and be honest about it to
Exactly.
others. because we're so consumed, or with what others are going to say or judge us or think about us and all that other kind of stuff. So, but
Exactly.
yes, but as it pertains to friendships, I mean, I'm really glad that I was able to meet with my friend today, and really address certain things, and take ownership of my part, the responsibility for my part that I played
Right.
in it. Actually, all of it, really, because it really was all me. Um, but you know, I think you and I were having a conversation about friends and friendships, and just knowing, you have to know for yourself, no matter what type of relationship you get into, whether or not you're going to be able to provide, to be the person be the friend or partner that other person needs, whose life you're
Absolutely.
becoming part of. Um, yeah. So
Absolutely. Like I said, man, and I always talk about the chisel. You have to bring your personal chisel, man. And even in a friendship, not just a romantic relationship, you have to bring your personal chisel. Let's just say I'm doing you a great disservice if I don't bring my personal chisel to the friendship.
hmm
Always working on me, because I tend to say some crazy shit. At,
yes, you do.
you know what I'm saying? And I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware of that, and that takes a lot of growth to actually say that. Well, what are you
So
laughing
I've laughed. Anyway, so Tammy said, not to get off topic, but those rebound relationships will last long, just to prove a point. Absolutely. What? How long was I? 15 years. So I was married 10 years. We'd been together for about 15, 16 years. So that was a heck of a long
at?
rebound.
Right,
I mean,
right.
you
Mark
know,
says, "Is that box braids you rocking, Miss Charlie?"
no, no, sir. These are actually locks. So no, not box braids.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
But it's funny, just a sidebar. Those who know me know that I probably haven't had, I don't do weave like that. Like, you guys saw me experiment, was it months ago? I had a sew-in done, and I just did it for the experience, because I'm like, I've never
You
done it.
you had that you had that in like 2 days and it was out.
Yeah, because I don't do fake hair. Like, it drives me crazy. Like, this is cute, but like, now I'm ready to go, but I got to get my money's worth out of it,
I
right?
was like,
So
yo,
I've got to keep.
when you did it, I was like, yo, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, because this shit is heavy. Like, it's
I was like,
heavy.
that's
My
crazy,
sister's
right?
my sister is like, "Yeah, it's probably not heavy. It's just you're not used to it," which is true. I'm just not. But I don't like this. I don't think I've had my hair like in any kind of braid since I was a child. And the other bad part, with me and adding hair, is that because of how my hair is, like, braids, it doesn't really hold. Like, I had a couple of locks that have already just slipped off my hair because my hair is so soft, and I'm
Right.
just like, it's driving me nuts. But yeah, but I'm determined to get my money's worth out of this. So I've got to keep it in. I figure if I keep it in at least another, if I keep it in 3 weeks, I'm good.
I give you next week.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's
It
real
could,
talk.
it might happen, but don't do that. We'll see what we
Yeah,
looking like next week.
I give you next week. So again, let's recap and close it out.
Thank
But
you,
again,
look, Tammy said it hurts to be beautiful, Shann. Thank you. It does.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, hey, Brendan Preston. Thank you for
What up,
joining us.
nephew?
He said, in relationships, I try to be transparent so it won't be any surprises in the future.
That boy
Yeah,
good.
I mean, we all try that. We all try that. I was
Good
very
boy.
transparent. But I was still just not. I don't know why I still went through with getting married. I don't know. I think I need
Right,
to
right.
go sit on somebody's couch to really understand that.
But the lesson and the teachable moment for me tonight, and even throughout this conversation and the conversation I had with my friend, we have to
Mm-hmm.
be careful what we pick up along the road.
Ooh,
We have to be very careful, and just because somebody comes with a smiling face, that don't mean that that's good energy. So we have to be careful with, like, just like my friend, she picked up a bad energy and
yeah.
missed out on very tragic moments in my life because of it. And we have to be careful what we pick up along the road, man. We have to be very careful.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was just so much she missed out on tragic moments. she missed out on the opportunity to be the friend that you needed as you were going through those
Great.
particular
You're
experiences in
absolutely
your
right. You're
life.
absolutely right.
Yeah. You know, and
Absolutely.
I get it. I get it. Tammy said that part. She agreeing with you.
Good stuff,
Uh,
Tammy. Thank you so much.
but yeah, you know, and I'm gonna be honest. I had a situation where I kind of checked out from being a friend, not because they did anything. It was just some stuff with me, and my friend experienced some very traumatic stuff. You know, i.e., a
Right.
death, a significant death in the family, and I was not there to be the friend that I needed to be to her and the rest of her family.
So did you actually acknowledge that?
Absolutely.
Her? So you
Absolutely. I mean,
acknowledged her.
and I mean, yes. And we are, I mean, it's still a process of, it really is because I, I'm not going to say it's not like I'm on an apology tour, but it's kind of like when there's work that I'm doing on me now, right? And part of that is working to repair or restore, um, some of those relationships because they were very important to me and that meant a lot to me. And they got to the point that they got to, not by any fault of the other person's. I'm not like one of those people that wants to do you wrong and just walk away. And
Exactly.
I have a heart about things. So
Let's close out this one with the funny. Mark says, "Look like Miss Charlie Angel is finally coming to the 504 side, picking up what a real one put down." I love it.
Lord, hell probably about to freeze over tonight. We might wake up
And
and
we
we
sell
might
and we
wake up.
selling ice water. We selling ice water all night.
Oh Lord. Oh
Good
man.
stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, like I said though, I'm glad for her that she was able to get that weight off her chest and remove herself from that because she didn't even know that she was in bondage from somebody else's trouble.
Mm.
I'll say this again.
Wow.
She had no idea that she was in bondage from somebody else's trouble.
Or somebody else's trauma or
Exactly.
toxicity. Yeah. That
Exactly.
that man, you might be worth something as a life coach. That was a good one.
Knock it
That
off,
was
man.
a good one. Being in bondage from somebody else's trauma.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
think about it. She held on to someone else's baggage, and I totally left that alone when it happened. I totally forgot when she called me apologize. I was like, "What you apologizing for?"
Ooh, we gotta stop being the bag ladies. I think Keisha talked about that months ago when we were on the show about, you get on your ride, you know,
Exactly.
holding
So
up
I
how we
allowed,
hold the
you know what?
bags.
That's a great point there because I allowed that entire situation to go forth and
Mm,
move completely out of my space. I continued to grow. I
yeah.
continued to level up. I went to the next round, and she's finally gotten to the realm where I'm at. She finally met me at my realm, and I'm very glad to have my friend back. Very
That's good.
very happy to have my friend back because she was a really good friend. But
And this not the lesbian.
I'm sorry, say it again.
This not the lesbian friend or the one who was date who the
No,
you sure? Okay.
knock
All
it
right.
off. No, we're
I'm
not
just
doing
trying to
it.
I'm just trying because this sounds awfully, sometimes you got so many stories. I be mixing stuff up.
Exactly.
They run
Exactly.
together. So okay,
Exactly.
sorry.
So no, but I mean, she's still a good friend. Just because she's a lesbian, she's still a good friend too. Actually, no, I know the story you're talking about. You
Yes,
thought,
the movie maker.
no, don't do that.
Oh,
You'll give it
oh,
all away. What's wrong with you? I talk to you
okay,
too
it's
much.
time to go off the show now.
I talk to you too much.
Oh my god.
I talk to you too much. I talk to you way too much.
Oh my god. I am so sorry.
I'm thinking you were talking about
No
um
names, no names.
yeah, I'm thinking you're talking about the other situation when Frankie got married and Frankie posted me on his Instagram and an ex of mine commented. And remember I told you that? And turned
No.
out she was actually in a lesbian relationship now.
Yeah, no, we didn't. You didn't tell me about that. Good God! So they all become lesbians after leaving your ass?
All that damage out
Oh
of
my God!
cause. All that damage
Oh
out
my
of
God!
cause.
Oh
All that damage I caused, man. I mean, hey, that's what it is.
Look at Mark talking about, there she go, bringing her back out of the closet.
Exactly. Exactly.
It could be anybody. I don't know. I just like you be traumatizing us so much they turn completely off.
No, but and I'm glad you brought that up. But my past experiences have moved a ton of people forward. And if I could be transparent with everything that I've gone through and help one person, I've helped a million. So we're all on this earth to learn and pass it on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm very happy that, my past experience, people are interested enough in my past experiences and I talk about them. And honestly, that's my therapy within itself, my pen.
Mark said hashtag liquor license. I don't know what that means. I knew it was something between y'all. Mark said, I know too, hashtag liquor license. So he must know who he's talking about.
He know exactly what I'm talking about.
I should have known. Sir. All right. Well, we are right at, I think we've got another 30 seconds here. So I think I'm going to get off because I think I've probably said way too much, and I don't want I don't want to out nobody like that ain't ready to be out. So
you know what? I got to stop talking to you so much, man. Because I mean, my life has always been a movie, and I thank you for starring in it.
Oh, I get to star? I'm not just I'm not just, what do they call those people that just come on the set for, what do they call the I'm just gonna say extras, the extras. I'm not one of the extras.
You're not next. You actually you're one of the main stars in the book Romello book. So
oh Lord, ain't no telling. When is that gonna be finished, by the way?
It's finished. I had to do some other things to it, but it's totally finished. So it's just me making people wait. But it's you're actually one of the main characters in that book.
Oh Lord, here we go.
That's some good stuff, man. Because with me, the story always writes itself. So I allow my pen to take over. So it's a doozy. It's a doozy. Let's just say that the main character name is Charlie.
Oh Lord Jesus. You done stole my name. You done stole my my club alias.
That character belongs to now Taylor Kinney Media.
Wait a minute, that's not necessarily true. I didn't sign off on nothing.
You didn't have
to need all y'all people out there. You might want that he has written about you in his book, and you haven't gotten no check. You might want to do your due diligence to see about getting your check if you didn't sign nothing.
I'm gonna need you to stop talking about that book because Michael's been calling me about that. Michael, you're not getting a dime. Sorry. You gotta speak.
All right, it's time to go. It's 9:01.
You gotta talk to Kennedy about that. You have to talk to Kennedy about those royalties. Those royalties from the onstart of the building of Taylor Kennedy Media, all the royalties from that particular book goes to Kennedy, and the other books, all that goes to Taylor and Kennedy. So I'm a separate entity.
You're a separate entity? Oh, okay.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Good stuff.
It's so, it's great to be a woman because we can multitask like no other. I am sitting up here backing into the garage and still doing this damn podcast.
Ain't that something? You know what? That shows what your dedication is. And I have to tell you, I really appreciate you.
Yeah. I still don't have a t-shirt or a hoodie or nothing.
Oh, speaking of t-shirts, these t-shirts are actually free.
Time to go up. What?
These t-shirts here are actually free. So these are for the nonprofits. And some call me nonprofit for disabilities and whatnot and all that good stuff. These are free to people with disabilities. Very free to disabilities. So, and actually it reads. Can you read that? Can you read what it says?
No, not from here. Not from this.
Striking that iron, something's bound to spark.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And then on the back it says somecallme.org. That's the actual website. For anybody who's actually dealing with disabilities and they're living independently, they can reach out to me and I can walk them through a number of processes and different benefits that they could actually get.
Okay.
And they have no idea, it's out there for them. So good stuff. Somecallme.org is the spot for that, for the free t-shirt for only people with disabilities.
All right. Well, we have done our due diligence for this evening, and I hope everyone was not only entertained, but maybe you got something out of, what we were talking about this evening. As always, thank you all for taking the time to share your Wednesdays and Sunday evenings with us. Please make sure to come back on Sunday. I won't be here, but Trent will be here on Sunday along with Coach D.
Yep, Coach D.
And they've got a dating, right?
Dating after 50. And we'll cap it off with you on Wednesday. So we'll do part 2.
Okay.
We'll do one on Sunday with Coach D, and then we'll finish it off with the lovely Charlie Angel.
That's right. All right. Make sure you guys go on over to YouTube and subscribe to the conversation. And make sure you invite somebody and have them do it as well. And I won't see you Sunday, but the rest of the crew will be here Sunday. So make sure you come back again, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a great rest of your week. What am I doing? I'm getting ready to go take a shower and call it a night because I am tired. Mommy duty is officially over for the day.
Good stuff. Kobe needs a walk, so I got to get out of here myself.
All right. I'll let you later. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Be safe.
You guys be epic.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.